Hello to my fellow lecturers. My name is Dini Huda, student ID A190991, and today I will be presenting my research proposal. The title of my research is The Role of Influencers on Public Health Awareness Distribution in Malaysia. The issue is the distribution of public health awareness information, whereas the population of the study is influencers, preferably Malaysians. Okay, introduction. Now, influencers has increasingly changed the behaviors of individuals in correlation with public health, political perception, and economical views. Influencers also have the power to affect the decision-making of the public due to their expertise and relationship that they have with their audiences. On the topic of public health awareness, influencers have seen to adapt the information to their own style and make extensive use of such social network to exchange experience and gather information. However, there are obvious differences that should be taken into consideration involving medical influencers and social influencers, and this research is to focus on their specific roles and impact that they give to the masses. On to the problem statement. As you can see here, I have stated that it is quite surprising that there are still communication challenges among the public when the topic of health is involved. Okay, an obvious example to this is the COVID-19 outbreak, where people either choose to take information from the Ministry of Health with a grain of salt, or accept entirely what an influencer with no medical background has to say. Okay, therefore, the biggest question for my research paper is to know why are people's opinions affected by the influence of other people, especially on the topic of health. Alright, and however, this phenomena has led to a path where professional medical personnel with credibility of course, have become the go-to person for people to gain knowledge about their body and their health. Okay, and the gap here is to develop an understanding of influencers and their role as opinion leaders that could change the public's perspective on health awareness entirely. Research objective. As you can see here, my first research objective is to identify the role of an influencer in disseminating information about health awareness, of course, in Malaysia. My second research objective is to clarify the differences between medical personnel and influencers based on their credibility of information sharing. My third research objective is to examine the position of influencers in Malaysia as opinion leaders. Where else my research questions? As you can see here, my first research question is what are the roles of influencers in distributing health awareness information in Malaysia? My second research question is what are the differences in credibility between medical personnel and influencers? And my last research question is what position does influencers in Malaysia falls into as opinion leaders? Here are some past studies that I have found that is closely related to my topic on influencers and their role of disseminating information on public health awareness. Okay, the first one, this article has stated that in general, the advent of new communication media has altered the way public agencies and the public respond in terms of crisis. For instance, social media allows rapid dissemination of information in extreme situation, even before the responsible agencies can control or handle the situations. The second article is basically a study on Finland, not Malaysia, but they start using influencers to share information, to get the word out to people. And the article has stated Finland was one of the first countries in the world to include social media influencers in the urgent COVID-19 communication. As part of the communication campaign initiated by the Prime Minister himself, the campaign titled Corona Facts has encouraged and supported social media influencers in sharing reliable information about the coronavirus, combating the spread of misinformation and reaching citizens who were outside of reach of legacy media and public organization communication channels. For my last reference of past study, the article has stated that researchers have argued that social network sites users, the users of these social network sites, at present trust peers' recommendations more than search engines. And this phenomena is evidently from the resonance with social media influencers who are capable of influencing massive number of followers through reviews of products, services, and social trends that is on their social media account. This is the theory that I have chosen to basically focus on for my study. I choose two-step flow model of communication, mainly because this theory suggests that the flow of information and influence from mass media to the audiences involves two steps. And the first step is from media itself to a certain individual, also known as opinion leaders. And the second step is from opinion leaders to the public. Here is my research framework. I choose to do theoretical framework to further frame my focus, to put it into a concept that could relate the theory and my my research topic. Okay, as you can see here, I have written down opinion leaders and opinion followers. Now, under the context of opinion leaders, I will study the position of medical personnel as influencers, as well as social media influencers themselves, to persuade perspective changes in the audience. Now, on the column of opinion followers, I'm trying to understand the adaptability and behavioral changes of media users on the information that has been shared by these opinion leaders. This is my research method. I choose to do mixed method, which is both quantitative and qualitative. For quantitative method, I choose to do survey questionnaires on Google Form platform, and I will be studying around 50 respondents. And for qualitative method, I choose to do focus group, which I will be focusing on 5 medical influencers and 5 social influencers. Now, the reason behind this is because I am studying the role of influencers and how their followers adapt and how their followers could absorb the information about public health awareness. So I think it's best to have both methods, where I study both the influencers and their followers at the same time. Last but not least, for data analysis, I choose to do narrative analysis, mainly because it analyzes content gathered from various sources, which is what I'm trying to do, both interviews and surveys. And as for the software that I will be using to analyze my data, I will be using Maxda or MAXQDA, that is specifically like a professionally engineered for qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method analysis. I hope this presentation will be helpful, and that's the end of it. Thank you.